Oh, well, hello, YouTube. Some of you may have seen in the news that I was voted the best potter in the world for 2021, which was, thank you so much. It's very inspiring to be appreciated in such a way. And, I also noticed that I haven't been making enough videos, so I'm coming back to make some more videos for you. And today, I'm going to make probably the best mug in the world, and I'm excited to share that with you. So let's go. So we have 15 pounds of clay, and this is a special mix, just like pretty much all the pots that I make. This clay was passed down from generation to generation. My great-grandfather had a clay mine. That was his business in upstate New York. And when he was a kid, he would dig the clay, he'd put it in Charlie chip cans, and then they'd bury it. And the legend of people peeing in their clay actually came from my family. And it's true. They used to build the outhouses on top of these Charlie chip can piles. And the Charlie chip cans would have these little holes in them, and the stuff would soak on through. And anyways, like, you can smell it. This clay, has that family history. That's part of the process, part of the history. And what makes me one of the greatest potters to ever live. Passed down from generation to generation. So we want to get this basically centered. Now, to be the best mug, they're going to be a lot of people, mostly from Florida. They're going to argue about this not being the best mug and everything. And I can't spend a whole lot of time participating with the haters. They're just going to be there, and it's okay. I don't have time for them. So this is going to be a double-walled mug, because we know, because people have told us this without any kind of testing, that if we make it really thick, it will hold heat better. So that's our first goal, is to make it really thick. We're also going to make it double-walled, because if it works for a thermos, it can work for this. We also want the top to flare out to the point where we can't really seal with our lip. And that's more of an aesthetic thing in terms of making the people that use it look silly. And then finally, we're gonna talk about really the best handle that we can make for this. So we're gonna start by splitting this and turning it into two walls. One wall will be the inside of the mug, and the other wall will be the insulation. And we are right about there. Perfect mug should hold about 30 ounces of coffee. You can look up the research. There are a lot of studies, but the only ones that I really give any kind of weight to are the ones that directly agree with my positions, that I already had going into it. And 30 ounces is the perfect amount for a coffee mug. And so says all the studies. Then we're going to pull the second wall up. And we can leave this one thicker. I don't need to pull it as far. It is basically acting as this huge thermal mass that will keep our coffee longer than a thin cup. Sorry. I've also been sponsored, and I need to make sure I use the sponsors in all of my videos. This pull is brought to you by Cheryl Mud Tools. And I'll make sure I edit in a noise of awesomeness, like ping, when I use it. I'm going to cut the skirt off. As the best potter in the world, I get sent things, and then I use those things to gain profit from people. So anytime you buy a Cheryl Mud Tool rib, make sure you tell Michael Cheryl that Tim C sent you, and then I'll get some royalties. Maybe Mike will take me out to dinner at Ensika. That'd be nice. So we're going to clean up the outside. We're going to flare this inside out to touch the outside here. And we're just going to squish it so that it comes together. And it's this flare and this thickness on the outside that really sets this up to be one of the best mugs in the world. And again, the haters are going to be like, oh man, that's too big. You don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't be teaching anybody how to do stuff. And those people have probably spent their whole lives, using only one sponge, and really, you should be using so many sponges. It's so good. I use probably 6-7 sponges every time I throw. And this is pretty much it for our mug. We'll cut it off. And because it's so heavy, I mean, this is 35 pounds of clay. I can't just pick this up. I am going to just, wait, I've got sponges for this. Use a different sponge. And I'm going to drag just a swamp's worth of water underneath this, because this is the only way to really pick up pots from the wheel. And just keep doing this. Turn the wheel, son. I'm doing some more. Then I'm going to slide this off. If I can get this off. With 65 pounds of clay on the wheel, this becomes kind of heavy. Oh, and I don't have a board to put it on. Well, you get the idea. We would slide this off onto a wear board. And like that. And then we had to make the handle. And the handle, there's a lot of different ways to make handles. And you're gonna get people that are like, if you don't pull a handle, you're not a real potter, or if you if you're extruding, you're lazy, dummy, poopy face kind of thing. And really, yeah, they're right. If you're extruding handles, you're a dumb poopy face. If you're pulling handles, you're just boring. You're just doing everything that your college professor told you to, and that just makes you, I don't know, the most boringest potter in the world. What I'm going to do is make a handle that fits my hand. I think the best way to do that is actually to use your hand. I'm going to squeeze this like it's a, I don't know, like a family heirloom turd. I'm going to pinch it off. So I got this perfect handle shape. Now, my clay doesn't shrink. I looked it up on the internet. It says it doesn't shrink at all. So the shape that I have here is going to be perfect in the end. I padded a little bit to make sure that these two parts are flat. So when I attach it, they're going to fit and go on well. Also, in terms of scoring, I don't score anymore. I'm so trained to score things. I went to go look for a new tool. Really, we just need to sponge it, rough it up with the C sponge. This one's named Gary. I'm gonna rough this part up. We're gonna push it on. Gotta be careful not to distort the piece too much. I'm gonna put this. Well, yeah, I can distort it here because that's not where we're gonna drink. And then I'm gonna really smooth it on. Again, another reason to use one of our sponges. This is the oldest in my sponge collection. This is a vintage mud tool sponge. I'm gonna really blend that on. And it's a little too far away. I'm gonna adjust it, I'm gonna shoot for the best mug in the world. And there we go. I wanna make sure it's in camera right here. The best mug in the world. There you go, folks. Again, thanks for watching, unless you're from Florida and you guys can, I don't know, go do Florida stuff. And we'll see you later.